Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid. We're hopping into our Let's Play with Sceleria. It is turn 1. So I hope you watched the National Overview and the Pretender Design episode. We're going to hop into it. Turn 1, obviously not too much is going to go on. We'll talk real quick about your starting army. You get these guys who are 7 protection, not great armor, but they have a really good shield and pretty high defense, so not so bad. And then you get these guys who are a little better since they have more protection. And they also have a good shield. Pretty solid units. We're going to go ahead and profitize. You can blind expand, but it's kind of risky. And I prefer to make this guy a prophet. This guy's going to just move off and scout. We're going to scout the province to get a better scouting report for the province I want to attack first, which is going to be this farmland. And that is because it's probably going to have a lot of money. And we're a nation that really likes money. We like lots of money. Right now we're resource constrained. You can see we can't cap out resources. What we're going to do for our first turn of recruitment is we're going to get these guys, because they only cost 10 resources versus the other better ones which cost more. And then we're going to get Shadow Vestals, and this is probably the only time in the game we're going to get them, but they are a very efficient use of resources. They only cost 6, and they're very gold expensive, but anyway. We are resource constrained, so we will get them right now. We don't really have a bless that they will use. We also could get these, but they're kind of wasteful because they're going to have kind of a lower return on investment because they'll die as soon as they hit combat. So that's basically it. We're going to start recruiting thaumaturgs to get our research engine going, and they can also start site searching. I didn't do any research this turn. So we're going to go ahead and step into turn 2. And here we go. Oh, I pinged it too. I didn't just do a scout. And so we see some heavy cav. It's not too many. That is a little bit scary, and these are longbowmen and knights. Knights are pretty damn good. They have higher protection than normal heavy cav. Let's see if anybody had funny names. Decimus, Heingeist. Nobody's naming their Garagon. That looks like a name. Hiptarius, yeah. Resisting everything. Huh, that's funny. I guess that is because he got a resistance bless. So anyway, Yis is probably in here, and I spawned next to the lake. So we will probably be dealing with them. Okay, one problem with this build, if you go undying on your bless, you can put these guys in your starting army, but because I can't, because I'm poor as shit, we can't. Because they're knights, we're not going to throw our dudes into knights, and we're thinking about what's an efficient expansion path. This first group is probably going to hit here and then go here. And we're going to go ahead and get a cultist and then a censor, and the censor will be able to lead both my normal troops and these guys. So what I'm imagining is next turn I'm going to probably put the Vestals on this guy and then give him some of these, and probably, I don't know where we'll go. I've got some pretty weak stuff around me. I mean, these have heavy cav. This has heavy cav too, but I don't think there's much here. There's probably like 1 or 2. And basically we're going to do line formation with our high protection guys in the front, these in the back. These guys are in a sparse formation, and that's these weaker guys trickling through them. And hopefully that works. But yeah, you can see we're still resource constrained. We're getting these guys. The censor costs a lot of resources, so that was kind of a trade-off there. Anyway, that's this turn. We'll go ahead and load up turn 3, since there's not much to talk about here. Now let's watch the battle. So this was attacking what should be just a few heavy infantry and heavy cav. And we should see a good javelin volley. Like so. Whoops. Hit W, it makes the terrain disappear. And we want to kill these guys pretty quick. They're going to be kind of hard to kill because they have high protection, but we should be able to kill them in 1 or 2 rounds. And you can see this front line, okay, it's filling up, it's not totally full. When it's empty, we're more likely to kind of take attrition. That's because you don't get as many defense checks. And we really need a route here. Come on, guys. There we go. That's Smite coming in. We should have a route on the heavy cav, probably this turn. There we go. Okay, if they don't route, then... Well, it doesn't even matter. We've killed them all. Yeah, they've routed. And then we're probably very close to getting a route on these guys. And there we go. So, in total, we lost 10 of these guys, which is kind of more than I wanted to. And then, yeah. But... such is life. This is not like a... we're playing with decent human troops. This is not going to be exactly a low attrition expansion. Yeah, so here's the plan. We're going to take all of... We put these guys on our censor who can lead undead, and we take the Velites and put them here. And we're going to basically combine forces and try to take out this high-income province. This is probably worth at least 2 or 3 normal provinces in terms of income. So... and we're also putting defense up to 6. And we're moving all of these guys in here. We put these on the front. We'll probably take a couple losses here. But the goal is for these guys to absorb the lance charge from the heavy cav or the knights. And then these guys will hopefully do the work. And having this prophet's actually pretty important because knights are super high protection. And this Word of Stone is going to do a good bit of damage. So, in terms of recruitment, we're still going after Vestals because we're still pretty resource constrained. I could have probably like canceled out 1 or 2 of these and gotten some more. And that might actually be a better use. Like 4 of these guys is probably better than 1 Vestal. Yeah. So that's basically the plan. We're going to send these guys in right over here. In terms of mercenaries, I haven't really talked about them. Because we're resource constrained, mercenaries are definitely viable for the beginning. But I haven't been doing it. I probably should. We switched back to thaumaturgs also. The Bandar Band, I can't remember what's in there. I think this actually is pretty good merc company. How much do they want? 150? Yeah, I don't have that. This group will probably not be able to go out. I'll probably have to wait like 1 more turn, then we'll get another expansion party. Or I may have them group up. I'm not going to attack these barbarians anytime soon. That's probably like a really dangerous province. I have this one which is pretty easy, and this one which is pretty easy, and this one which is very easy. So these will be my next expansion targets. And yeah, I think that's about it for this turn. Oh, I should talk research. We're going to do research at the beginning of this next turn. As you can see, I'm about at turn 45 in real time. I wasn't sure if I was going to record this game because I kind of have been doing... You know, like I did Lemuria, which is an undead chaff nation, and I kind of was thinking maybe I'll do a Let's Play on something else, but this game turned out to be pretty fun. We're about probably halfway through it, and so I wanted to record it. So I'm going back in time. So here we go. They're going to run into my Vestals. I don't really even bother... Oh, I do bless them. And there we go. You can see we lost 2 Vestals on the initial charge. And unfortunately they have a priest back here doing banishment, which doesn't exactly make my day. But fortunately that priest is missing a good bit. Yeah, we lose most of these Vestals. Yeah, we only have 5 left. I wouldn't be surprised if they rout. Okay, we got some... This guy's petrified. Huh. He becomes a slash and pierce resistant when he's petrified. Interesting. Okay, and like that we got the rout. We had an event occur. God, thank God that's not in my cap. If you get an unrest event in your cap on the first... In the first year, really, it's really bad. If we look at this province, it is kind of shitty for a city or for a farmland. It's only 1,600 population or 16,000 population, which is not that much. But this will be a pretty high income province once I get my Dominion fully in there and it gets really good scales. It'll probably, and it's pretty high unrest right now. So it's almost worth patrolling, but not really. We're going to let it come down naturally. I probably should have gone ahead and put this up to 10. Couldn't quite make it. Next turn I should put it up to 10, and that'll help get the unrest down faster. In terms of recruitment, there's a few things. One is there's elephants here, and those scare the shit out of me. The second is this province, which looked easy, is starting to look more intimidating. It looks like there's maybe more heavy cav than I thought. And these guys are actually pretty efficient at dealing with heavy cav. I probably should have been using them in this battle. If we look at the battle report, I took 8 losses, and if I had like a few of those Rotariuses mixed in, I probably would have only taken like 2 or 3. Or, well, more than that. Maybe like 4 or 5, but then these guys are cheaper, and I'm resource constrained. Anyway, if I'm going to be fighting heavy cav, it's better to take these Rotariuses. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be getting basically a boatload of them. This army is pretty damn weak, so we're basically just going to run back over here with the normal human troops, and they should be able to take this with very few losses. This guy, the censor commanding the Vestals, is going to come back. We're going to pick up the remaining Vestals I have here, plus this group, and we're probably going to come up here and try to kill these elephants. I think that's my next move. If I take this province and this province and cordon this one off, I don't really have to worry about taking it anytime soon. But I want to go ahead and set up a boundary over here. Ideally, I'd like to get like this land, and then as much of this as I can. If I can get all the way down here, that would be just huge. I would love to have this farmland too. I'd like to enclose this throne, so if I get these 2 provinces, that would be good. And I'm probably going to go to war with whoever's in the ocean, which is Zeus, pretty soon. So that's probably going to be my first expansion. Sceleria, they can raid so well. So if you get control of the ocean, depending on who you attack, you can raid this province, this province, this province, this province, this province, this province, this province. I mean, you probably have like 20 raiding targets. And you're so good at raiding with Sceleria. So, taking the ocean is a huge strategic advantage. Okay, so we're going to be attacking here. We're coming in here. In terms of mercs, I'm not bidding on any yet. In terms of research, I said I would talk about that. So, one of the things I didn't do when I set up the game, you can set it so it gives you a random amount of research, and basically, instead of giving you an even amount in all the paths, it'll randomly concentrate it in different paths. My first target is getting Enchantment 3, and there's mainly one reason for that. One is Revive King at Enchantment 2, and then the third is I can do Raise Skeletons. Raise Skeletons is pretty damn good. It is going to basically allow me to use very, very primitive early communions. After that, I'm going to go up to Conjuration 3, and that's going to give me Power of the Spheres. It's also going to give me Dark Knowledge if I need to do that, and it's also going to give me Summon Shades if I'm fighting elites. These guys are pretty good early game stuff against elites, depending on what they are. But anyway, that's kind of the plan, and then we're going to, after we get that, we're running up to Enchantment 5. And this combination with Sceleria, Conjuration 3 plus Enchantment 5, is really the framework for your early game wars, because with just your thaumaturgs, if you have like 12 thaumaturgs, which is possible towards the end of year 1 when you'll really be getting into your first war, you can put so many skeletons on the field. It's just mind-blowing. With Power of the Spheres, a basic communion, you need to get a little bit of thaumaturgy too, but I'll pick that up. And then Horde of Skeletons. It's really just mind-blowing. And yeah, getting Communion Masters trivial. It's like 7 research points, so I'll sneak that in. We're getting our research going too. These guys are pretty good, 12 research. And I think that's it for this turn. That was turn 4. And I think we're going to hop into turn 5. Okay, so this is our battle here. We're attacking these really weak troops here. And hopefully that causes a rout. Okay, we should get a rout. And there we go. So we took some losses, probably like 3. Oh, only 1. Okay. So Now if we look at, let's take a look at what we have here. I had this guy, my priest, he was making undead, and we have a little bit of an undead group. Which actually I probably should have, like, put these guys in here with him. So here's basically the plan. They're heavy cav here, I want to kill them. So these guys are going to be on hold and attack heavy cav. And these guys are going to kind of run forward. So the plan is, these guys are probably going to run forward, make first contact with the heavy cav. I don't really want these guys to die from the lance charges. And then, so they're going to fire, and about the time they're done firing and they've made contact, these guys are going to come in and actually kill the heavy cav quickly so we don't get locked up. And then these guys aren't actually in the fight, but they should have been. Did I put this up to 10 yet? No, because I'm an idiot. I should put this up to 10 right now. And then we're sending a big group over here. So here's the plan to take this. I've got these guys to absorb any initial kind of trample shit. And because trample doesn't work super well on Ethereal. And then these guys are going to be on attack large monsters. So the elephants can't trample when they're caught in a net. So these guys will assassinate the elephants pretty damn well, though they'll probably all die after the combat. And then these guys are going to clean up whatever is there. So I think, I don't know how many elephants are here, but I think the odds are pretty strongly on my side. But if there's like 6 elephants, they may kill me. But if there's like 3, I'll definitely win. So this is our first turn with 2 expansion parties. And I need to be thinking now about my first fort. I've got a surplus. I'm not able to spend all my gold. And my capital, I've got way more resources now. And so this is about twice as much recruitment as I was getting before. And you can see, since we're resource constrained, we're still getting these kind of shitty velites. But we're going to be able to do way more expansions per turn now that we kind of have better production here. And then when I take this province, it will of course go up even more. So I think that is about it for this turn. Yeah, anything worth talking about? No, I think that's it. So we're going to do one more turn this episode. This will be the last one. We're going to do turn 6. So turn 6, we've got... this is a battle here with the elephants. And here we go. They've got their slingers firing. Whoops, I keep hitting that W key. And the elephants trample me. And then we need to kill them very fast. This is kind of a lot of elephants. It's 5. Okay. And it looks like we've got a rout on the elephants. So that's good. So they're going to go back, and these ones might run over some of their own troops. And our Retarius rout, which is a bit unfortunate. But actually, maybe not. It's kind of better, actually. Okay. We might not have lost all of our Retarius there. Yeah, we only lost 4. So some of them didn't get injured, and because they routed, they didn't actually, and they didn't make it off the field, they didn't engage in combat. So that was actually, in some ways, probably lucky. I probably would have lost more Retarius if they ran forward. But you can see, it was 6 war elephants, actually, and which was about as many as it could be. It's very rare to see more than 6 in a simple indie. And we killed them pretty squarely. This will be a little more tricky. That is a lot of heavy cav. Probably should have brought more Retarius. I think I had the option to. I'm not sure I'm going to win this. Looking at this, the odds are kind of against me. Okay, fortunately... I'm not sure what that priest was doing. He kind of ran to his death there. Fortunately, these Retarius are going to do a lot of work on these guys. Okay. We really need to get a rout here. I think my guys are routing. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to win this. But it looks like we may get their heavy cav to rout before we go off the field. Yeah, there we go. They got me there. That was way more heavy cav than I thought. I mean, I had had a few turns scouting it. It looked harder. Oh shit. It looks like we won. So because I'm going back way after the fact, and the game has updated a few times, sometimes you get different replay battles. And there may be other causes of that too, but... Anyway, you can see that it easily could have gone either way with that many heavy cav, but I think as it turned out, it played a little differently. And I ended up winning this battle, but you see I could have lost. And that would have actually, if I lost this, it would have really slowed down my expansion, because this is going to give me a good bit more income, and then also a good amount of resources for my cap. Okay, and my preacher wasn't an idiot and died, so that's good, because in the combat he did. We've bumped into Yes, so here they are. We don't really know what's in there. It's probably Movark Knights, but I'm not sure. If he wants to bump me, he'll probably move here. He probably also could run straight into me. But Yes probably doesn't want to fight with me. I don't know. We'll see. At the moment, he would definitely wreck my shit with Movark Knights. Because I'm kind of worried about Yes, I'm like, if Yes comes and attacks me, and I know the player's good, so if he rushes me and sits on top of my cap, I would be in big trouble. And with Movark Knights, you can do that. So I'm getting a shit ton of these Rotariuses, which would kind of destroy his knights in case he tries that. Because I really only have one turn. Because if he moves here, the next turn I'm not going to really have time to make any troops and use the PD on top of my cap, which is what I want to do. So anyway, now what are we going to do? So I've got this guy, he's got some more troops. We're basically going to bring a small reinforcement contingent and take out this province. It's going to be pretty easy. There's nothing really hard here. It's militia, heavy infantry, and archers. So this is basically all we're bringing in. This guy can't really put him in a formation, but it's going to go like this. Nothing too complicated. And that should be able to take this out, though I will probably take some losses. I desperately need to expand in this direction. The other thing, too, and I hadn't talked about it, is you can see we've got Amazons here, which is really good for me. I would prefer shamans. In fact, I'm going to be like searching this whole game for shamans, which are Astral 1, Nature 1, because they can go in my communions, and they make my communions so much better. But these guys are really good. They give me 2 paths I don't normally have, nature and water. They can cast foul vapors, which could potentially be quite useful. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. Meanwhile, our research is kind of humming along. We're at 36 now, which is not too bad. We're going to do another turn of getting a censor and a cultist. And we're... this guy's going to move here to start a fort construction. Or to start fort construction, we're going to make a scout here. The scouts are going to come in and resume fort construction, and then we'll have the preacher probably go reanimate undead or something. And that's it. We're not really going to try to defend this. If Yis wants to attack me here, he's going to get it. The problem if Yis takes this is because he's amphibious, he could take this, or my capital. So Yis attacking me here might have been a good move. But it would really depend on, like, it would be basically a roll of the dice if I could catch him and predict his move. But, like, if he was coming here and here, that would be bad news. But Yis has kind of slow, I don't want to say slow expansion, but their Movark Knight turns are at a premium. So he may not want to tie up his troops where basically I'm going to be trying to take back the land he takes. Anyway. I'm sure he thought about attacking me. Do I send a message? Yeah, so I send a message to Yis saying, take this gem as a token of our goodwill. Did you go for a cancerous Movark Bless or Scales? We assume that you have seen Pangea on the island. Keep us in the loop as to your diplomatic thoughts. You can see I've noticed Pangea is up here. Which, by the way, starting on the island is the worst start, especially if you're Pangea. Because you have no way to get in the water or do anything with that. So, anyway. And I think that's it for this turn. We went through 6 turns of initial expansion, and if you tune in next episode, we will probably wrap up initial expansion where we kind of lock in our borders. So I hope you enjoyed. This is kind of a slow expansion because we went scales. We don't have a bless. But we're just using the human troops to suffer some attrition, but still expand fast enough that we basically have a good amount of territory for ourselves. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.